poem number 1, which is funny. It's poem number 1 of 3. The Last Immortal. Angel of death and mercy, come release me from this pain. I feel like a monster about to drown. My heart is heavy from these chains wrapped around my heart for pain I've caused. A thousand hearts of me to blame. I walk around this earth with a black, tattered soul, just waiting for some sense of hope to come my way. But they mean it when they say there is no rest for the wicked. 1,000 years I've had to feel this pain, 1,000 years of hell all the same, countless years left to be unseen. But the curse set upon me, I am the only one to blame. It was me that volunteered for this game. I've watched cities built, I've watched cities burn, I've seen war and I've seen peace. But still the world stays on its knees, praying for a savior to come, just to put them back on their own 2 feet. But 1,000 years has taught me this. There is a Messiah in us all. They just need the courage to take that great leap. All hope is lost for me, though. Their death is my release. So why do I still yearn for peace? I've lost all the ones I've loved, through tragedy and deceit, through mistakes and defeat. But what happiness could come to me, the creature that never sleeps, the monster wrote about for centuries by the week? In your veins flows my nourishment, but in your veins flows my pain. In this now you probably know my curse. Hold your breath, I need not your profane thoughts. I need not to hear any more disgust come my way. I have my own self to speak those treasons, and at the end of the day, I doubt you'd even understand my reasons. At 23, I lay upon the ground, bleeding out from the point of an old man's sword, for speaking up against tyranny and cruelty. Through a dark alley I crawled, leaving a trail of my life upon the ground, awaiting my end to come on this unsacred ground. When out of the shadows came a woman, her eyes on me watching, while my breaths become harder and harder to take. She leaned down and touched my face, looking me in the eyes with pity and intrigue. She then only asked me but one thing: are you ready to leave this place? I used what I thought was my last words to be, just to scream and plead to her, like she was a savior I had always awaited for. Please help me, please, this world. No, I'm not ready to leave. Her eyes turned black, her fangs turned out. Fear struck from within me. Was this the way it ends? To become the meal of this creature, just before the light would dim? She bit her wrist open, and opened up her own vein. To my great surprise, she told me if I wanted to live, just drink. Frantically, I pulled her wrist to my lips, not knowing I'd just given the devil a kiss. Taking in her blood into my mouth, I felt my heart stop beating, my skin turn cold, just before falling into a long sleep. As hours went by, I felt lost in purgatory. Nothing but black is all I could see. It was the scariest thing I'd ever seen. But then I woke, hungry and alone, in the same alley I crawled into to die. What is this feeling? What is this craving? What have I become? And just as I thought the worst had come, here came a young lady following my blood, coming to check on me, not knowing what I was. As she came upon me, my senses drove me mad. The blood in her veins, I just had to have. What had I become? I screamed inside my head, but even louder than myself was the hunger. The hunger screaming over me to put her in her final bed. With tears of anger and dismay, quickly her blood I did shed. Crying like a child, I wept like she lay dead. I sat there all night in total dismay, waiting for the sun to come and whisk me away, only to learn that the legends were wrong. 100 years would pass me by. All I could wait was for the end of time, for even a stake to the heart didn't end mine. It seemed the curse left me here to stay. But what made me truly distraught, 200 more years my maker would be still lost. I searched for my weakness here, I searched for my weakness there, but like a child's toy lost in the sand, I just couldn't find one here nor there. I read scrolls older than even me. Nothing that worked for destroying darkness would ever come to be. After 500 years, my focus changed. I must find the woman responsible for my change. Where to look, I had no clue. Empires had risen and empires had burned is all I knew. The world changing around me, I didn't know where to start. At times I came close to having a change of heart. But in 500 years that I've only met so few of my kind, it seemed like a lost cause from the start. But I knew she must be out there, and it tore my mind apart. Then soon it became clear I wasn't meant to find her. A desperate attempt to bring you to me is what I must pursue. I took the lives of hundreds, leaving a trail of breadcrumbs from bodies that she would find. Little did I know, my actions were bringing out the animal inside. Now it was a sport to entertain my dark side. No longer will I hide, the creature of the dark they called it has a place in the light that I will ride. With immortality on my side, I decided to take this twisted life of mine,